Good morning. Glad to be with you all today. Glad to worship with you this morning. Glad you're here. We have a story in our tradition about a remarkably simple person. That's how one Episcopal bishop writes about the arc of our story. He puts it this way, adapted a little bit here by me. It's about a man born 2,000 years ago, give or take, in a small, obscure town in a remote province conquered by the Roman Empire. And he never left this small area where he was born. In his whole life, he never left an area that was smaller than the combination of Metro Austin and Metro San Antonio. If you have driven as far north as Waco, then you've covered more miles than he ever covered. He didn't attend a famous school or study with a famous teacher. From what we know about him and the records he left, he didn't speak the sophisticated languages of his day, Greek or Latin, only the backwater Aramaic. He didn't leave us anything written down, just stories passed down to us about him. He hung around with people on the outside of the social and religious mainstream, fishermen, prostitutes, those collaborating with the empire. And he told them in his words, and he showed them in his actions, that they were worthy of love and belonging without conditions. And then he got into trouble with the authorities, and when he could have gotten himself out of trouble, he didn't really try in the way he could have. He stuck right to his principles and to his message all the way to the end, and he was killed by those same authorities. His was not a big life, not in the way we think of that now. He did not operate on a big stage or with a big presence. I'm drawing from the book, This Hebrew Lord. But even in this smallness, the people around him saw in this man love and energy and life that they had not experienced before. I'm quoting the book now, This Hebrew Lord. From that life there emanated power, love, and life, such as the world has never known. In this man, other people found community, hope, the overwhelming need to give and to share, the freedom and the courage to be. And instead of going away, this life, this energy, this love, it grew. And it kept leaping into the world. Every place where people worked for justice and peace, especially when the odds seemed long. And this power, it kept leaping into the world every time someone reached out to a person in need, even with a gesture that seemed far too small. And this power, it kept leaping into the world every time someone had a dream that the situation around them could be a little more fair, a little more equal. And it kept leaping into the world every time people pushed beyond themselves, beyond the boundaries that they knew, in order to expand love. In all of those times and places, it wasn't just the receiver who was changed. It was everybody, and the whole situation came out different. These stories about Jesus, they did not shrink away or disappear. They grew. These signs, Jesus says in our gospel lesson today, these things you've seen me do, my presence with so many different people, my ability to forgive, love, all these things you've seen me do, Jesus says, you will do even greater things than these. Did y'all catch that when we read the gospel just a few minutes ago? It's shocking. Jesus says that we are going to do greater things than even he did. You will do greater things than these. I can do these things, Jesus says, because I know that God is in me. I know my connection to the holy, so I can offer myself. All we have to do is offer ourselves. All we have to do is know ourselves well enough to know what we have to offer, and then be ourselves fully enough that we can offer it. And we will do greater things even than the stories we have about Jesus. Offer the gifts we have to help the love, mercy, justice, freedom, forgiveness, peace of God break into the world around us. Here's how one thinker puts it, his words now. The point of Jesus' life is not that we should become exactly like him, but that we should become ourselves in the same way he became himself. It's about us becoming so fully human, so fully ourselves that we can know and experience the God who became fully human. It's not about the bigness of your life or the wideness of your influence. It is about how much of yourself you bring to your life. It's about how fully you join the flow of love all around you, breaking forth all around you the flow of love that is God. This early group of followers of Jesus, the ones who are writing down these stories that we have, they came to think of him as the fulfillment of human potential, the promised fulfillment of their tradition. And today, he flips it right back on them. I'm the fulfillment, he says, and so are you. Everything you've seen me do, all the life you've seen break forth in me, from me, even more will break forth from you. All the wholeness you've seen me bring to others, the healing and wholeness, even more healing and wholeness will come from you because of you. The love and forgiveness you've seen me spread, even more love and forgiveness will break forth because you will follow me because of you. This isn't a path outside of us. This is a path we make by trying, by practicing, by doing, by seeing ourselves as vessels of the holy in the very same way that Jesus saw himself as a vessel of the holy. And when we're able to bring ourselves, our full humanness to our lives, without the boundaries and defenses that we so often put up, without the constraints that we've learned, when we can bring our full human selves, then we're most able to be those vessels, to do greater things even than these. I am the way and the truth and the life. A person we could see and touch, a person who might sit down with us, talk to us, a person who might lean in and react and respond to us, We might offer a handshake, a hug, maybe even just a nod to us. I am the way and the truth and the life. A human person. Not just a set of ideas or statements, but a person. That is the central claim of Christianity. That the holy is revealed in a person. Or to put it the way Paul did 1950 years ago, we live and move and have our being in God. That we have the potential in us to be the holy to the world around us. That we have the potential within us to show mercy to those around us, to act for justice for those around us. That we have the potential, the possibility for us to see everyone as included in God's unfolding story, the way that Jesus did so many years ago. We have the potential to extend forgiveness and love, to extend love and forgiveness like Jesus did. It doesn't have to be big, grand gestures. Most of the time, it wasn't for Jesus. So often, it's something small, isn't it? Small moments that accumulate for us across a community and across a lifetime. You know, this story is not something outside of us that we have to take in. It's something deeply embedded in who we are. All we have to do today is recognize that it's already there. All we have to do is recognize it. And I'm not making this up. Our first writings of our New Testament make the same claim. We're already in God, Paul writes. All of our life we live and move and have our being in God. Fullness of life for us is simply knowing it. When you act with generosity and kindness, you know the life it brings for you. It makes your life better. You already know that. When you act for fairness, for justice, when you extend forgiveness, it makes your life better. When you act from an open heart instead of a closed one, you know that things are better for you. This path to new life, to fullness of life, it is not foreign to us. It is embedded in who we are. And Jesus, today, every day, calls us to live from that place in us, to live from the holiness that is at our core, to know ourselves well enough that we can act from the best of who we are, that we can offer the best of what we have to offer. And when we do, we will do greater things with the power and in the Spirit of the one we follow. Amen.